once again, welcome back. Thank you for joining us in our ongoing campaign. I am Bjorn, your dungeon master, and of course we have...
I'm Jordan Whitby, and I'm playing Kira.
I'm Nate. I'm playing Minix.
I'm Jamie, and I'm playing Siobhan.
Tanya playing Garnet.
Phoenix playing Pohaku Kahu.
I'm Casey playing Reba Rotgut.
So you all have been in the town of Harmony Creek for a few days. There was festivities. You participated in various fair games, had fair food. There was a rodeo you all participated in, your attempts to ride a wild boar. Siobhan becoming the champion of the rodeo. There was also a single elimination combat tournament that took place. Pohaku becoming the champion of the tournament, which he has happily let anybody know who brings it up, that he is just that good.
The champion through the power of Pohacket Sand.
Correct. Which is what we affectionately call that wonderful silvery spell. I'm quite affectionate. Shortly after the tournament, you were approached by one of the constables within the Vagabond assemblage, one Marshal Elijah Bicker, mentioning that there may be some work for you all. And you took a job for local farmer Benjamin Dabbler, who suggested he had a problem with a chimera. And this group of adventurers known as the Low Elves he had hired to protect his field, their leader, Sindel Trueshot, offered to give you guys a little help. Tell you how to create this concoction to take out a chimera. You gathered the ingredients, some gained through combat, and she assisted in watching over the brewing of this as it was done overnight. When you all woke, you found she had let it harden in the cauldron, and through a little bit of ingenuity, Reba flecked off a shard of this and took it with. You found the field where the Low Elves were attempting to steal the farmer's crop of Hero's Wort, and a brief but clearly non-lethal skirmish with them began before an undead chimera showed up. Battle took place, and the tide turned when Reba gave this shard to Sindel and had her fire it as an arrowhead into this creature, taking away its resistances. Siobhan delivered the killing blow, and you basically all told Sindel and the Low Elves, leave and we never want to see you again. As you were collecting your reward from the farmer, there were shouts of something happening. You went to another nearby farmhouse to find that local farmer had been murdered. And the strange thing was, there was no blood on the scene. Kira had his familiar scout out to see if he could find any trace of the murderer, as you believed it was the individual you had been looking for, Temugr Irontusk. You found where he was hiding nearby, and you all stealthily went there. Combat ensued, where not only did you find Temugr, but a couple undead creatures known as Draugr. Victorious from the battle, you stand over the slain body of Temugr Irontusk. You did find a few items. There is a very ornate amulet, has sort of an eye motif on it, as well as a very intricate shield, also with the imagery of an eye different. Anyone who is proficient in Arcana can roll Arcana checks on these, as well as a very beautiful fan and the short sword he was wielding, which is just beautiful and gleaming with a cat's eye gem fixed to either side of the hilt. But you all stand here, and before we get into the adventuring portion, since you all leveled up, I'd like to hear what everybody did with their level up, starting with you, Kira.
Yeah, so level 4 is the ASI or the feat. Mm-hmm. I took the gunner feat, so now I can range and attack things right in their face.
Yes, you can. Manix, what'd you do with your level up?
I decided to take the feat Fate Touched.
Which is going to be interesting how that ties into your backstory.
Very much so.
Yeah. Siobhan, what did you do?
I did the stat improvements, so I got increased my dex and my con.
Evened out those odd
Yes,
numbers.
yes.
Nice. Get those bonuses right where you want them.
Yeah, I really should have done that.
What did Garnet do?
Same, took the ASI in common charisma.
Oh, charisma. Someone's going to have to do the talking besides the rude boys.
Hey, I was nice first.
Debatable. What about Haku?
Pohaku took Resilient Constitution feat because concentration is kind of important.
That's the life of a blade singer, isn't it?
Mhm.
And last but certainly not least, what did Reba do with a level up?
Reba got shadow touched.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you did. And that too will be interesting.
Yeah.
Ties in
What
with
the hell is
everything.
that?
It is a feat that allows you to increase a certain stat by one. What I believe it's intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Yeah, and I took wisdom because I'm
Yeah.
a cleric.
And
Badly, but still a cleric.
and it gives you access to a couple spells. And the idea it has to do in standard D&D with some sort of connection to the Shadowfell. But with this being all seeped in Norse mythology, as opposed to the Shadowfell, we're using the realm of the dead, Niflheim. So that'll be fun for me as that comes about. I'm greatly looking forward to it because that can create more encounters with things that are undead, and boy, do I love those. But undead creatures aside, you all stand here over the now dead body of Temugr Iron Tusk and the remains of these Draugr. You find these items, as well as you did find on him 181 gold pieces. What do you guys want to do?
I'll take Timigar's head and put it in like a small sack just to keep that grossness away from the rest of my stuff, because I have to have something to show that he's dead and it was him.
You have you have his foul head. Well done.
Yeah. All right.
So
If you need to put that somewhere it's not going to get on things, hold up in the bag of holding. This will keep everything else clean.
If you wouldn't mind. And I put the sack in, just the whole sack into the bag of holding.
you mind telling the rest of us what the fuck just happened?
But which kind of what the fuck do you mean? Because that may have an answer or not.
All right. Who's the bloke whose head you just cut off then?
So he was I mean, with the things that we fought, he's a known necromancer that was said to be in this area, and I was told to just send word if I found sight of him. But being this close, this was as close as anybody's ever been, and he's been murdering people all up and down the continent.
What areas did he visit before? And why are there Draugr?
Your guess is as good as mine on that. As far as where he's been, would that have been intel that I had?
Yes, you would know that through the northern parts of the Empire is sort of where people kind of lost track of him. Good chance he went to one of the northwestern port towns there, where the census doesn't have so much of a reach. Those being the mage hunters,
Right.
and it's a little easier to slip away. Your guess is he probably either booked passage or stowed away on a ship bound for the assemblage, or he took the risk of going through the woods in the northern part of the Empire where many
Yeah.
nasty beasties lurked, and was probably looking for a place within the assemblage that he could lie low and wreak havoc over what you know of his methods.
It's not really that, and that's what I know. But it's admittedly they thought it was above my pay grade to take him on, and
Okay.
my higher ups in the Empire.
I thought you worked for him. Isn't
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah, I thought you were his valet.
Well, no.
Sort of.
He's not wrong, but closer to a bodyguard than a valet, but a little above.
Looks at their respective size differences. All right then.
You got a blade that looks like this. You got to get as much protection as you can.
You're bigger than him.
But just look.
He's
Just
correct.
all
It's not
hands
much to
on
look at.
Shiny things. Look, shiny things.
But so you've helped me do a great thing, not only for everyone here, but also it'll help me get to where I want to be in life. Which I can't thank you all enough.
Is that why you were here? Were you trekking? Is that what brought you to Harmony Creek in the first place?
No, it was just Manix wanted to come to the festival, and can't let a noble of his stature just leave the Empire unguarded.
And you used us for a promotion.
But we stopped a murderer.
Yeah, saying it like that, you're not wrong, but it does sound much more nefarious than I meant.
I'm happy to stop a murderer, but was he working with anyone? I want to know more about why there are Draugr here and why it's not the first time I've seen them. Was he working with anyone?
As far as I know, he was working alone.
But why is he murdering people? Did you ever find a connection?
As far as my intel was, there wasn't any rhyme or reason to his murders. He just killed pretty much anybody he could come across that he could get away with it.
Didn't the what's his name, Roran, didn't he say that someone overheard, oh heck, I don't remember what it was, but wasn't someone overheard this was the deal, or you'll get what you asked for, or something, and then
You got what you wanted.
you got what you wanted, right? So I doubt what he wanted was to be drained of blood, so. And that's alright, that's another thing. Like, hold on, does Siobhan know anything about vampires?
Make an Arcana check.
That's gonna be a 14, I think.
You've heard of them. You believe they exist. You've heard tell from people who either claim to have encountered one or know someone who has.
Yeah, it's just like Jamie hears drained blood and goes, vampires.
But what you know about vampires, generally their victims have fang marks on the neck.
Mhm.
This was not found on this farmer.
Yeah, I didn't go look at the body.
Okay.
So that's what I'm asking.
Okay. Sure. And so to anyone hearing that question, you would assume this was not a vampire, as that's pretty common knowledge. Fangs to the neck. This farmer had stab wounds.
What about all this eyeball shit? Does that... All right.
I'm the as far as things are right now, like this being Manix's bodyguard is my first official assignment. They don't tell you anything that you quote unquote don't need to know.
On the eyes question, anyone who wants to can roll an Arcana check.
Yeah.
On that.
No.
17.
Natural 20 for 23?
Natural 19 for 23.
Look at you.
So all three of you on this. The eyes, very quickly to you, especially the shield and the medallion, you know that eyes are very strongly associated with abjuration magic.
Okay.
They're often symbols of protection. The idea of an eye watching out for you.
Mm-hmm.
As far as on the sword, it looks to be largely decorative, but also the idea of being able to gaze outward. Like these are cat's eye gems, so it's sort of in an eye shape on the sword, but it's literally the gem cat's eye.
Mm-hmm.
So those don't strike you as being of the abjuration school. You're not quite sure what purpose they have, if any, but both the shield and the medallion, you think those are some sort of either abjuration or some sort of protection is what those are designed for. And You can make a religion check if you want, or anyone else is proficient in religion.
I don't think I am. Ooh.
You have ties to a god. That's why
I
you say
do.
whether or not you're proficient.
Well, I do have a -1, which makes it a 16,
You have,
but
you have a -1 in religion.
I'm a bad cleric. I keep telling you.
That makes me so happy.
I don't want to be involved with
I
any sort of
know.
deity.
I'm not proficient in investigation. This is fine. This is fine.
You don't have to optimize all your characters. It's beautiful.
It's better
I
than
love it.
But what about Condor?
Constitution is never a dumb step.
Disagree.
But rather than digress our entire campaign, from that 16, you looking at this, you don't think any of it has any religious implication.
Okay.
So you're going. The closest deity of sorts, and they're not gods, but they're adjacent, would be the Norns. This doesn't feel like anything regarding the Norns. to you.
All right, I get it. They don't want to tell you anything yet. But you said you just used us for a promotion, and I want something in return.
That-
And I want more information about these Draugr and any necromancer who comes by.
You're greedy, my goodness.
If I can interject, I don't think we should talk much more in this place. Before the fight, there was someone talking in my head that they had seen me.
Right.
Wait, what?
I told you that.
Yes, you did.
So I don't know how or what, but maybe before we divulge too much more, we should make sure we're secure.
I mean, I'll have to send a letter to get more information to give you anyway. So,
Can I have Siobhan and Reba make history checks for me?
Yeah. Oh, good. So that's 0.
No.
Cool, thank you.
we are great at this.
Maybe optimize your character stats like a little.
Did you both roll natural ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, anything intelligence based, but can't help you.
Cool.
Oh no.
It's all fine.
But that is a good point. We should get somewhere safer.
Okay.
And at least with all of his gear, once I have some time to sit down, I can see if it's more magical than it appears.
Do you think it's likely that that your masters back in the Empire are likely to come to want to investigate this site?
I doubt it. They really just wanted him stopped.
If you could send that letter along with the head, it would be appreciated. I'm sorry for being greedy.
I mean, I want to know as well. I mean, because if he was working with anyone else, we need to stop them too.
My thoughts exactly.
But yeah, let's go.
Let's get some.
So what's the plan? Where are you guys currently at?
Should we
To
go
the
back?
dusty boots?
Well, should we go back to the scene of the crime?
Oh, we should probably tell them that we killed the
We'll figure it out.
smart.
Does anybody have a freaking cough drop? He's on. Thank you.
So going back to the farmhouse where the body was found, you do find the same constable hanging out there, Roran, who is pleasantly surprised to see you all back. Oh, good to see you all. Bicker and Stonebreaker haven't returned yet. I don't imagine they'll be back till at least tomorrow. I know they were headed out of town trying to find that illegal mage or whatever they call it in the Empire that was being hunted, but Hopefully they'll be back either with answers or leads or a body of something tomorrow, but I don't know. Did you find any possible information regarding...
I just reach over to Pohacket.
Oh, right.
The head.
Ah! Good, okay, first off, warn a person next time you're going to... Can you put it away, please?
Yeah,
I don't want to look at it. It's...
Do we want to hold on to it?
yes, because I need to send it back as proof.
Send what? Who are you people? What are you doing? Send... Okay. Who was that, and why do you have their head?
So that was Timogar Irontusk,
Good! Who's that?
who we believe to have been the murderer of this, and I point to like the chalk outline.
Oh,
The old chalk outline.
goodness.
Also a wanted rogue mage in the Empire for more murders.
Oh my. Well, okay. I'm going to have to get word to the marshals right away, see if I can get them back sooner. They apparently were led astray. Well done, all of you. You've done us a service today.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
It's very much appreciated.
It's all about keeping the people safe.
It is, isn't it? Well, we had that wing sent to the tower for you.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what they're going to charge you or how long it will take, but it's there. And yes, I have verification that it arrived.
You have my thanks.
You are very welcome. Well, I need to get a hold of one of our mages and see if they can get word to the marshals right away. Perhaps we can get them back here by nightfall. Good day, and I need a fucking drink. We'll see you all around.
Oh, wait.
Yes?
I'm assuming, since they didn't fucking tell you, there's, I describe where we found these dudes. And I don't think you want to go there to investigate without a mage or a cleric of some sort. There was some sort of dodgy, we don't know if it was a spirit or a voice, but
Yeah, didn't want to alarm you because, we've already done enough of that with the head.
Certainly have.
But you might want to write down in your report to keep an extra eye for lingering undead.
Good to know. I will make sure it's noted, and I will inform the marshals as well. Well, like I said, your work is appreciated, and as far as where he was hiding out, sounds like he found one of our safe houses and was making use for it. We have places for people to wait out who, when they leave places such as the Vanamirian Empire, sometimes there are those hunting them, and there are times where our marshals deliberate whether or not they will be welcomed into the lands of the assemblage.
I don't think this is anything you really need to disclose.
It's public knowledge.
No.
I'd like to know more.
There,
Oh, I thank you, but I recognize their clothing.
Yeah.
They have no jurisdiction here.
Bingo.
yes, but it doesn't stop them from bringing the information back.
It's nothing that and we don't know.
It's public knowledge. And the fact of the matter is, if members of the census come here, they can deal with the marshals. And I assure you, Marshal Bicker is not one to cross. And I think they know that. As far as these safe houses, we utilize them from time to time as a place for someone to await decisioning. You see, if someone fled the Empire because they committed theft, possibly one that was essential, we've known there to be times where the law, as they put it, wants justice. I believe a family being fed is justice enough. I'm not one of the auditors of this, but that's my belief. If, however, we find out that they enjoyed bringing violence to those around them, it will be decisioned that they can be sent back peacefully, or they can be sent back in a pine box. Their choice. So we have these safe houses on the outskirts of our towns to keep them away from the populace until a decision has been made. The last thing we want, callous as it may sound, is for people to get attached. Can't have them making strong friendships and having people enjoy the company of a charismatic individual if it's quickly realized they're a ne'er-do-well that we cannot have as part of our society. The Vagabond Assemblage, as you two definitely know, operates on the edge of a razor. We're independent. And we proudly stay that way, but there are concessions we sometimes have to make, both with the Empire and with the elves of the Asharan Vale. It happens. So, these safe houses are for everyone's benefit.
If he was in one of these safe houses, does that mean the marshals put him up?
Unlikely. My guess is he found it and was utilizing it. It's, I won't say common, but it's happened before where one has gone to put someone up there and has found a squatter. So, likely came across it, decided it would be a place to rest, and you all happened to find him before he could move on. Well done.
Just happy to be of help.
I wish you all a good day, and I really must be going, as I need to see if I can get a hold of Marshal Bicker and Stonebreaker. Get them back here, since they're basically chasing a ghost right now.
If you need that drink, we'll probably be at the Dusty Boots later.
I look forward to it. And he will head off down the path.
Should we just go to the Dusty Boots now? I don't know about you, but and I kind of undo my tunic for a sec, like large cut. I could use a rest.
What time of day is it?
Let's see here. You faced the Chimera right around sun up, and then just after that, you went to the farmhouse where the body was found. I believe it took you about an hour to find the safe house. Probably would have taken you about that long to get back. So it's a little before midday right now.
It's been a big morning.
We'll have to be more productive tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind stopping by the tannery.
It's time for lunch.
Gotta find something to do with that.
Definitely time.
I wouldn't mind stopping by an armory because I would love some better armor after all of this.
You do know that the
It's weapons.
son of a blacksmith that you are very familiar with has a booth set up.
I know I was actually offended. Like, my father's work.
You do also know that her father's work has great renown throughout the assemblage.
And we did get paid by Ben and everything.
Oh, he paid y'all.
Yeah.
He paid y'all, and I believe, Garnered, it was your armor that was upgraded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You have studied that now.
I think
Because his
Have the armor
stores existed. He didn't have, oodles and oodles of all kinds of armor to go around.
I don't think we split the money that we found
Yeah,
yet.
still got it in
Yeah. So we'll have to do that at some point.
Over lunch.
Yeah,
Over lunch.
lunch and housekeeping.
to food.
Okay.
And you can either go to the tavern to get something to eat, or there's various fair foods around. There's still a couple days left of the festival.
I can personally use a sit down.
Yeah. Anywhere with a table and
Any
a chair.
chance of finding an actual elephant ear? I'd be.
I don't think
So
I'm gonna
interesting.
find any of them, but I'd like to look.
I think it's very unlikely. Go make an investigation check. You know what? Make it with advantage.
It's still gonna be not 19.
19.
That's probably like a 15.
Sure.
I don't think my investigation's very good. Yeah, 15.
You're absolutely sure you're not going to find both.
Yeah.
So, beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I was ready to like, the locks.
It's just like,
Don't you dare!
Like,
Don't you freaking dare!
you find a Loxodon selling funnel cakes. So at the Dusty Boots, you are able to get a sort of table in the corner. One of the word has gotten out quickly about what you've done, both with the undead Chimera and with Temager. And there are a couple people like, it's them. And they're the ones who took care of it. And so when you all walk in, there's a small group of individuals there at one table in the corner. Oh, if you all need a table, we're happy to move on. We're actually just about to clear out.
Perfect. Thank you.
You all deserve it. Well done with the Chimera, with Farmer Dabbler. It was a spot of work you all did. Appreciate you all.
Oh, thank you so much. What's your name? It's nice to meet you.
Titus.
Titus. I'm sure we'll see you around. You're going to be here for a couple days.
Oh, I live here in town, so yeah.
Awesome. Oh, what a great place to live.
It's family's been here for 3 generations. But it's good meeting you all. Good day to you. And he and his cohorts will shuffle off, and you watch as they take stools up at the bar. 2 of them sitting down, the other one leaning in between, conversing with the bartender, kind of looking over their shoulder at you all. And as far as food and beverages, just food, what sort of beverages is everyone looking to procure?
Just water for me.
Cool. Yeah, I know that for you.
Oh, whatever is. What would the locals have here?
Probably
I will have that.
good. I will say for all of you, getting a rather good-sized meal and beverages to go around. Go ahead and each of you mark off 1 silver.
Nah, I'll pay for everybody.
Okay. So then go ahead and mark off 6 silver. And you quickly realize you are definitely being undercharged, but it's partially appreciation of what you've done and accomplished.
Mhm.
I'd like to make sure that Titus and his friends get around on this as well. For giving up their table.
And the 3 of them, when the beverages are brought and they see you, one of, I think Titus, he kind of meekly raised his glass, and one of his friends, very muscular human woman, she stands up, she goes, right, a toast to the heroes of Harmony Creek.
Here.
Well, I guess that's a thing now.
That's right.
That's us.
Let this bicentennial be remembered forever as the day that terror came to our fields, but it met a mighty opposition. Here's to that! And just all around, and a large toast to you all.
Got us a fan club.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. All right.
Friends. They're just friends.
And she'll actually saunter over to you all and say, okay, so I have to know. Fucking beast. Who took it down?
She did.
I mean, I'll do all the heavy lifting, but
It was
Oh.
This one took that piece right out.
That moment's gonna
You
suck
made it
for the
a lot.
podcast people.
You made it a lot easier.
it was more of a team effort.
It's okay to, be proud of what you did. Sounds like your friends here are giving you all kinds of credit. What's your name?
It's Siobhan.
Siobhan. I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. Just wanted to personally thank you. Farmer Dabbler's been a friend of my family's for a long time. Anybody who's friends of his is a friend of mine. Appreciate you. Hey, this is Siobhan. Her next drink's on me. Thank you for what you did for Farmer Dabbler. Make sure everyone in this town knows your name.
Hey, if you really want to think,
Huzzah!
there's some really cool weapon and armors you can find too. Yeah. You know the one stand? I think it's manned by Kieran right now.
Kieran, I don't know. Kieran, I don't know that family. Kieran.
Siobhan, where should she go looking for that?
Finnegan, the Finnegans.
You know the Finnegans?
I am of the Finnegans.
No way.
Maybe throw some business their way, huh?
I mean, obviously, only the best blades in the assemblage.
Yeah. And she's putting them to good use finally, right?
I'd say so, apparently. Well, I have been thinking of getting myself a new axe, so I just might do that. I'm gonna go see your family stall, Siobhan. Go do that. I'm gonna get an axe. I'm gonna tell them you sent me. Okay, no, thank you again. Hey, don't forget, I'm paying for her next drink. And she will proudly run back over to her friends. You see how great they are. You can just hear the three of them are having just a great time. I would like anyone who's proficient to give me a perception check.
Nope. Nothing back.
Oh no!
Except for Siobhan.
Oh, okay.
Proficient in.
Perception.
Yeah, no.
Are none of us? Just about great. Love it.
I am.
It was a character choice.
Yeah, I took him accidentally this morning, so I'm not supposed to be.
I don't know about the smartest, definitely the most perceptive,
Yes.
which never hurts for a barbarian. So, yeah, you all are quite distracted by this trio of very excited individuals. But yeah, drinks are served, food as well. Food's pretty good. It's palatable. And you have your time to eat, drink, and socialize.
So not to, be pedantic, but we should probably split up that money that we made. Just because I don't want to forget. And
Yeah.
I need it.
Well, we have 40 platinum along with 181 gold to divvy up.
Well, math wasn't one of my subjects in the academy, so I'm not going to be good at that.
Kieran, it sounded like you said you were going to have some sort of spell you wanted to cast on the.
No, I was just gonna sit there and do an Arcana check to focus
What are the
on,
numbers
on
again?
the things.
It's 40 platinum, 181 gold.
So like 30 gold each, like 6
It's
platinum
30
each,
and
and
change.
change.
Yeah.
And if you need the platinum broken down into smaller coin, the
It can be done.
bar can take care of that for you. If you wanted to
you
roll
break
an
a
Arcana
platinum?
check on those items, you may. If someone wants to assist him in that, who is also proficient in Arcana, you can do it with advantage.
Awesome.
I'll take a little less if it helps with that change since I.
That's a dirty 20.
30-20. You think without question that the amulet, the shield, the fan, and the sword are all magical.
Okay. Can I get any read on School of Magic, or is that I need to cast something for that?
You would need identify.
Okay. That's a spell I don't.
Or I guess I'd say detect magic.
Yeah.
Because identify just tells you
Just
what
tells
the
you
hell
what-
something
yeah.
is. Does anyone have either detect magic or identify?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Just out of curiosity.
I have detect magic, but it's not prepared right now.
We can take a few minutes, and I can take care of detecting things for you. I don't know what it is.
Well,
I can
I'm
look
certain they've all got an enchantment on them. I just can't quite puzzle out what kind.
Yeah, if you wanted to, like, ritually cast detect magic, I have no problem with that.
So yeah, take 10 minutes, and Pohaku is going to gather up the items, kind of close his eyes, and as he kind of holds his hands out over them, you just see on his on each of his knuckles there are tattoos, and one of them is kind of flaring slightly as he begins to cast. It looks a little bit like the different runes that are, or not runes, but the different tattoos that are on his hand. Those of you who are familiar with magics, they're not exactly right, but they resemble the kind of sigils of the different schools of magic.
Well, I assume it said stay gold.
Nice. Pony boy.
Love it.
On
Love
the
it.
inside of them.
Yeah.
Love it. Nothing gold can stay.
It's boy with two eyes at the end.
Stay gold, pony boy.
So, casting that, you get, of course, again, these are all clearly magical. For schools of magic on them, you get abjuration from the amulet, from the shield, and from the sword. And you get, I think, evocation from the fan. Let me double check that spell. Dun, 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 dun. As I don't want to mislead you. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for being an easy resource.
You want to give us stuff? Listen to the coast?
That'd be great. That'd be great. I did not say that. Yes, evocation.
All right.
I mean, knowing my schools.
These three are designed to protect. This one seems to have more elemental fury to it. I'm not quite sure how.
Interesting.
Maybe you should spend some time with it if it's about elemental fury. You seem to be quite good at that.
That might be interesting.
At least the fury of the earth, that for certain.
Yeah.
The fan, you don't think you would need to attune to be able to use. The other three, definitely. But the fan, you think, I could probably use this.
We might need some time to figure out how it works. We're inside the tavern right now?
Sure.
Are you thinking that far ahead?
You know what? Let's find out if he is thinking that far ahead. Okay, no. No. With a 13, he's not going to. Just was like, wow. Just see what happens.
Just warp it in the middle.
Yeah.
Because we haven't talked about
I'll be right back. And he'll go outside and find like a, not populated, like basically just looking right out the door.
Okay.
And like not pointing it at anyone in particular, but just see if.
And so you guys kind of peer out
Yeah.
the window or the doorway where you are. And a few of the people are watching. What's Pohaku doing here? And so he takes this very brightly colored fan and just with his full Katya realness just thwarts that thing. And you watch, and you can see the air actually change as this massive gust of wind comes off of it. So you can add a wind fan to your inventory. So you have that. And yeah, the strong gust continues to come off of the end of the fan. So now you know what that does. Be sure you read over how it works. If you use that multiple times in a day, it can rend itself. And I would say through your detect magic and just through the use of it, you can kind of see the buckling of the webbing of the fan.
Okay.
And you realize, okay, it definitely causes a strain on this item itself to use its ability. Because this is an interesting enough item, I'll let you have that info for free because I'd hate to watch you destroy it for no reason. I love the wind fan. I think it's a great item. So you now have a wind fan. The other three items, you
Oh,
Don't-
this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
What would I know about protocol of like
You've got 2 out of
Taking
4 now.
Stuff.
Who make you the avatar?
Finders keepers.
cool.
Like there's a certain amount of finders keepers with stuff because
Yeah.
unless it was reported that a target has stolen gear
Mm-hmm.
and there's a sense of, oh, this must be returned to these people. If those are in the orders, none of that was in the dossier for Tucker. So
Good.
however he got these, you don't know. You do know that if it's kept within the census, if the paperwork does come down the line, hey, yeah, this guy, when he came through our town, he killed this person, he totally stole this and this. Things are usually returned.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all have lost track of it, there's also a sense of you guys are mage hunters, you're not repo men.
Right.
The idea of the equipment, that's totally not your damn responsibility.
Right.
And you also know this is a bit of a contentious point with some of the populace. There are many members of the census who, it's a dangerous job. Members of it have been killed many times, as you definitely know.
Mhm.
That sometimes there's a certain level of, no, I'm keeping this.
Right.
I lost a person. I lost someone close to me. You're losing an item. And so members of the census often feel like our losses are not congruent here.
Mm-hmm.
They're far more sensitive if, say, it was stolen from a person who was murdered.
Yeah.
But if it was, say, a snatch and grab from a store on this person's spree, and then a member of a hunting group was killed in it, it's very common that one member of that group might go, no, I'm keeping this in remembrance of my fallen comrade.
Right.
It's, like I said, it's contentious, even throughout the empire.
Mm-hmm.
There are many people who take issue with that. But the census is what they are.
And also, we're not in the Empire right now.
You are not. But there was no dossier about any stolen equipment
Yep.
with Temiger. However he acquired this, you don't know. So
I mean, I was gonna keep it anyway. I just wanted to know if I felt bad about it.
no. Total finders keepers. So however you guys want to divvy up the amulet, the shield, and the sword, that's on you.
I would certainly like to take that sword, but the shield and the amulet I don't have a use for.
I wouldn't mind spending some time with that shield.
I'm kind of curious about that amulet myself. It looks interesting.
I mean, we obtained them as a group, so we should.
During the time you guys are having your meal, to those of you who want to attune to things, you can if you would like.
Yes.
Okay.
I will as well.
Okay. Reba, to your inventory, you may add the item, the Sentinel Shield.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yo. And
I like that name.
yeah, Mannix, go ahead and add to your inventory. It's an item called Amulet of Proof Against Detection and Location. And as you tune to it, you quickly realize why this guy was so hard to find, as this protects you from location spells.
Mother.
So you know what happens when you invoke it, right?
No.
Your like, what's the somatic? Is that anyway? You have to do this.
Yeah, because you got a John Cena.
Kira, I'm adding something to your inventory.
Okay, cool.
Balls.
And I need you to. This is a custom item, so I need you to read it.
To refresh so I can read it, yeah.
Yeah, give me a sec here.
Cool.
And all of these were taken off of Timigar himself.
Timigar.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, off of him himself. He was wearing. He had the shield on his back. He didn't seem to be utilizing it because he needed a free hand to cast spells. Yeah. So that was his issue there. But yeah, so enjoy that Sentinel Shield there.
Yes, thank you.
It's a pretty cool item, and yeah, I was thinking, like, I think you're the only member of the party who can use it.
Is that correct? Because after I find out what it does, I will relay that, and it is ask if anyone wants to duke it out over the shield. It's an advantage on initiative,
I
which
think you're the only person though who
who can use a shield.
Yeah. Okay,
I mean,
perfect.
if you're looking for a scrap, I wouldn't want you to get hurt if you want to. But I don't have any use.
So Kira, go ahead and refresh. You'll see
Okay.
a new weapon on there, and go ahead and read over that description.
And then while we're divvying this up, and also because doing this helps me in more ways than monetary, as far as splitting up the money, like you all want to take, like I was just splitting the platinum, like if you take 6 and I take 5 or whatever that split actually is, I'm fine with that. Or you take 6 and I take 4. I think just
So
splitting
let's
the
see.
platinum easy so we don't have to break it.
I did, and then I closed it. So then 6
No.
times 6 equals 576.
Yeah.
So each of us would get 96, and then
96 gold.
gold, and then there's 5 gold remaining.
So you could all.
But yeah, so you'll all get 97 and I'll take 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 97. For
Yeah,
each
because
of us.
I'll take the short end of that one.
97 gold. And how many platinum?
That
Oh, that is
That is
including.
including
Thank you. Ignore me.
Never.
Damn.
Nice try.
I cast invisibility.
that's a,
Try to find me. My new magic amulet lets you. Of course.
And I also sent you a message.
Yeah. I'll. Yeah.
So make sure
Great.
you check that.
Yep. Yep.
I would like to make a perception check.
What are you looking at? What are you trying to
No,
do?
there's nothing. There's nothing. I'm just being mean.
But also in my I'm going to need to send a report, and I want it to be as detailed as possible.
Do not mention
But-
me in that report.
Yeah, that's about what I was about to ask.
what exactly do you do?
I'm training to be a member of the census.
What exactly do you do?
Currently, I train up my magic to be able to fight other magic users that cause people harm.
Interesting.
He hunts down any magic that's not officially approved by the Emperor, no matter what sort of life they're trying to lead with it.
That is the official job, but I just want to protect everyone I can.
Yeah.
It's what my dad wanted. It's what I'll do.
How does the Emperor sanction what your gifts?
Well, the Empire has its views on what magic is good and healthy for people to practice.
Where are you from that you're not familiar with the Empire? The 2/3 of the bloody continent.
That way. Quite a ways.
Wow.
I picked them up in a forest.
Well, they're colonizers, and they take over other lands and convert them forcibly to their way of thinking.
Siobhan, I would like you to roll either a history or nature check. If you're proficient in one, pick that one. Otherwise, it's your choice.
Probably equally terrible at both history or nature.
Mhm.
9.
Okay. Doesn't mean a lot to.
You say you want to protect people, but you don't think about the fact that the people you're killing might be some of the people you should be protecting. The Empire wants to take care of people, takes care of everyone, not just someone who's taken some vow to practice some certain religion under their thumb, abandoning everyone else.
It's not my call what my orders are.
Oh, okay, sure. No, continue. Love a good corporate shill.
It's the easiest way for me to protect people.
And that's what it's all about. The easy way, where you don't have to think. Just hurt whoever you're told to hurt and call it protection. You've been good so far. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, just a friendly piece of advice. I wouldn't say you're training to be a member of the census out loud again. It's not popular around here.
He doesn't have to worry about being most popular now, does he?
I do not.
Okay, well,
And yes, I know there are many dickheads in the census. There's a reason I'm trying to get higher in the census, is to be able to stop them from being dickheads.
I give the lad a hard time. A lot. But I can vouch for him, for what he's done,
Sure.
and what he's capable of, and where his heart lies. Your misgivings about the Empire, I'm not saying they're unfounded. Judge him on him. Try not to be too harsh on what he is about based on the mantle he's taking on.
I love that he's trying to change the system. We'll see who changes first, the system or him. I want to read that report before you send it.
I was just gonna write it here in front of everyone.
Perfect.
So you just let me know how much detail I should go into about each of you. Because obviously I can't take credit for all of it myself, but I know how things are.
You got a warlock with you. Can take credit for plenty.
A warlock? What are you talking about? He's a wizard.
Got my book and everything.
Oh, do I know he's a warlock? I would have assumed just from the magic use.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Can I join on that?
so he's
You can make your own Arcana.
Ooh, can I substitute that for a perception check?
This is pure Arcana.
It's 12.
It's an 8 on mine.
8. Bahaku, for you, like, sure, wizard, why not?
It's a book.
Yeah, and also, you don't use a book.
I don't usually. I was just about to
Yeah.
say. What does the book have to do with that?
Oh. You suspected
Okay.
Warlock from the Eldritch energy. However, being told, no, he's a wizard, he carries a book. With that 12, you're going, well, you've seen people be able to learn magics outside of their realm. A wizard who learned how to tap into some Eldritch energies. That doesn't seem impossible.
I would have just, I assumed because I was familiar somewhat with his family name.
The family name you're familiar with,
I
but
don't know
as
how
far as
public
that,
that
like,
is.
as far as that other backstory stuff, that you wouldn't know. That's
Okay.
stuff you know away from the table.
Yeah.
I would say you might have that warlock suspicion by specifically the casting of Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a warlock bread and butter. But hearing, no, he's a wizard and holding up a spell book going, this is where my stuff comes from. You go, that's plausible. You certainly met bards who were able to cast magics that weren't within bardic colleges, and you have met wizards who have learned how to break outside of what they've done. Kind of your thought is he comes from a family who's got money. The idea that he was able to hire maybe a private tutor that taught him how to break outside the shell of what wizards can traditionally cast, that holds water to you.
Yeah, never mind. I saw the Eldritch Blast before I saw the book.
Oh, yeah, no.
Point still stands. You got a wizard with you. You can take
fair.
credit for whatever. I just don't want my name or Siobhan's name to appear in your report. I don't want anything about our presence to appear in that report. We do not exist in that report.
Can do.
All right.
Well,
That makes us look better.
But you were the one who with the chimera. That was amazing, and you don't want, because you wanted recognition and money from him earlier, because he was getting the promotion. But don't you want to be
Not the.
recognized? I thought that's what you wanted. You seemed greedy earlier.
Oh. Ouch.
Also,
Not
what does
for
a book
that.
have to do
Money,
with it?
sure. Not for that.
I mean,
When I write down all my spells, all my magic, everything I've ever gleaned from my trainings and my various learnings, I gotta write it down. I can't remember it all.
it kind of looks like, at least from when you were you were casting spells earlier, basically tattoos in a book.
Oh. Okay.
It at least appears to be the same thing.
I see. Huh.
Tattooing myself isn't exactly an option.
Carry it around.
Tink,
with you.
tink, tink.
And
Oh, we're gonna have to hold. Our cameras froze. So we have our cameras working again. Where we just were, there was a discussion about warlocks and wizards and spellbooks. Reba, you had just had the realization that, oh, you thought Mannix may have been a warlock due to his casting of Eldritch Blast, but
He's a spell. He's
Yeah.
just a wizard. That's all.
showed the spellbook, and Pohaku seemed slightly curious about why books were a necessity, because Yord provides, as you said. So that's where we were when our cameras locked up.
Yeah.
Or at least close to it.
Yeah, something like that. And so you can see with the way that the Empire likes to do magic, the Empire likes to have everything written down and accounted for to know that people aren't getting into unsafe territory to keep them from hurting themselves.
That's really
It's not my job to say.
don't see how your emperor would be able to govern that which is provided by Yord herself.
Well, also, that is not the deity that the Empire draws everything from.
Ohaku just contemplates that and just kind of shakes his head. Just continues to sip on his ale after that.
Yep.
No,
Remind me, because I can't remember which one that I actually follow and which one's the Empire, because I get them switched up.
So the Empire, it is all about Balder.
That's right. Because
Balder has been
I'm a
dead
tier.
for some time, and their fear is that if enough reverence is not paid to Balder because of his association with the sun, that the sun itself will burn out and everything will die.
Right.
So there is. You're not required to completely believe that Balder is the be-all, end-all, but your ass better show up to service every week. That's accepted. Like, that's a requirement. They're pretty accepting of those who follow Odin as well,
Mhm.
being the king
The
of deities.
Allfather.
Yeah. And then as well, Tyr gets some acceptance because of all of his importance within justice
Mhm.
and fairness. That
So-
is sort of his domain. So Odin and Tyr are less accepted in the Empire, but Balder is really what's pushed to different extents depending on where exactly the Empire you're at and who you're dealing with. There are some religious fanatics.
I just explained this to Pohaku. Now, personally, I prefer the leanings of Tyr myself, but it is necessary to also show reference to Balder.
Well, you're welcome to believe whatever you like.
a viewpoint that the Empire does not share at all. Hence why I'm not being greedy about recognition.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Honestly, I don't think that if people stop believing in Balder, that the sun will burn out and everything will be destroyed, but that is the official doctrine of the Empire, so I at least gotta say it.
And kill anyone who doesn't want to perpetuate it.
And
Those are
Kira,
my orders.
as you're saying these words about your
Oh, no.
reverence to Tyr and the fact that you have nothing wrong with those who appreciate Balder, you hear, and none of the rest of you hear this.
Yep.
What's wrong with the Norns? Those hags know a thing or two, don't they?
Just,
They're going to have fun.
Not responding. Not responding.
That's the last you hear.
That's right, everybody. It's another campaign where there's a voice in my head.
And I think that might be a great place to put a button as you and only you hear that. Kira, I almost called you Bandit. That was a different campaign.
It's on brand.
Different character, but it's on brand.
Always now that start piercing into your skull.
Thank you all. We will see you soon. Hopefully for a longer stretch of time, and hopefully technology will cooperate. We will see what chaos awaits, and hopefully not chaotic technology. Thank you.